Hey everyone, it's Linnea for LDRS Creative, and I have another really fun Christmas card to share with you. Usually this time of year, I love to mass produce cards. I have a lot of people on my Christmas card list, and so mass producing is something that I like to do. But every now and then, I like to create a card that is a little bit more special and a little more time consuming, and this is one of those cards. It's still a pretty easy card. Anybody can replicate this card, but it's not one that I would mass produce. I'm starting with the Christmas Stable stamps, and I took these three individual pine trees, and I'm just going to build a background. If you've seen my videos before, you have probably seen me do something similar to this. I just used my Raven hybrid ink and I stamped these all over, just kind of varying the angles at which I stamped them and making sure that I didn't stamp the same tree directly next to itself. I do love patterned paper, but one of my favorite things to do with stamps is to take the smaller images and kind of the background images and make them the star of the card. So I created my own patterned paper using these trees, and I think it's super adorable. I'm going to go ahead and start coloring. I took a light Copic gray marker and just added a shadow of snow to the very tops of these trees. Then I used a brown marker. I didn't even use two, just one, and just added some color to the tree trunks. I will use two colors of green. I have G82 and G85, and I'm going to color in the pine trees. My coloring is very simple. I just take my darker marker, add a little bit of color where I want there to be some darker shaded areas, and then I'll take my lighter marker and blend that out and color in the whole image. I am a pretty slow colorer, so this took me a little bit of time, probably I would say about 15 minutes to color in this background, but this is really the hardest part of the card. So I didn't mind putting a little bit of effort into this. And then I'm going to take some gold shimmer watercolor and spatter all over this background. This is one of my favorite things to do with stamped backgrounds. The shimmer just adds a little bit of texture and interest, and it also helps to fill in anywhere where I might have some gaps. You can see I had a little bit of an unnatural gap in the middle of the card, and I wasn't too concerned about that because I knew I was going to be putting some additional images on top of my background, but that gold watercolor spatter helps to fill that area in as well. I have a few reindeer, and these are from the Reindeer Games stamp set, and then I also have the stable, and that's from the Christmas Stable stamps, and that's from the same set as those trees, and I'm going to color these in with some markers. Again, very simple. I'm not doing a whole lot of shading. In fact, I don't think I used any shading at all on the reindeer. I did a little bit on the stable because that's a bit of a larger image, but I love these small reindeer images because they're so easy to color. You don't need to put a lot of effort into your coloring, and that's perfect for somebody like me who is not an expert colorist. I just used various shades of brown, and even this one is a Y28 marker, and I use that for the antlers. So various shades of brown and some yellows that kind of lean towards the brown. And then I added some color to their saddles just to bring in a little pop of color. Here are the Christmas Wishes word dies. I love this set. This is probably one of my most used word die sets this holiday season because it's so large. It works whether you're doing a vertical card or a horizontal card, and I just love the way it fills up this background. So I die cut the shadow from white and the actual Christmas Wishes words from some gold foil cardstock for a bit of just something special, and I think that ties together the gold watercolor spatters too. I did end up coloring these little elves. Those are from the Reindeer Games stamps as well, and I colored them and cut them out. I arranged my scene and popped it all up with foam, and this card is finished. So again, not one that I would probably mass produce, but it didn't take a whole lot of time, and I think there are a lot of elements on this card that make it special. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Bye!